Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Rebecca Keppel. In today's video, I am super excited to share with you the brand new Pink&Main Mini Ergonomic Blending Brush. If you haven't seen my other video where I talk about how much I love the original ergonomic blending brush, I'm going to link to that here. But in today's video, we're going to focus on the brand new Mini Ergonomic Blending Brush by Pink&Main. I'm going to share all the reasons why I love this brand new mini blending tool. Some of the reasons why I love the Mini Ergonomic Blending Brush are similar to why I love the original Ergonomic Blending Brush, including that the bristles are tightly packed together and super soft, that the handle makes it really easy to have a ton of control. All of these things are similar between the Mini and the original. I tend to have a lot of trouble getting a smooth, even blend with a light touch. I'm very heavy-handed when it comes to foam applicators. The only time I can achieve that really light blended background is when I use Pink&Main's ergonomic blending brushes. First, I want to show you how both the original and the Mini Ergonomic Blending brushes look next to each other. They both come packaged in these cute Pink&Main boxes, which really protect them during shipping. The Mini, like the original, comes with its own stand, which protects your work surface from being stained by the brush. Here you can see the size comparison, and I love that the Mini's top handle is only slightly smaller than the original, so it's just as easy to hold and control. The bristles of both are tightly packed, they're really smooth, and they appear to be the same length. I really love the small size because you can get into small areas. I also love how you can use the smaller brush to cover only parts of a stencil so you can get a multicolored stenciled background. I'm going to try out both brushes with the new Pink&Main Rose Garden Stencils, which is a set of 3 layering stencils that, when used together, create this adorable tricolor effect. I'm going to spray the back of the stencil with Thermoweb's Pixie Spray over my Waffle Flower Water Media mat, and then place my cardstock on the mat and my stencil on the cardstock. The mini brush can be used to partially cover the stencil. I'm using Spun Sugar Distress Oxide to cover some of the roses on the stencil. Then I'm going to cover other of the roses with worn lipstick and some with abandoned coral. The smaller size of the brush makes it easy to create this multicolored background, and the control you get with this brush makes it easy to achieve that soft blended look. I'm using the larger brush with Twisted Citron because I want all of the leaves to be the same color, and it's easier to cover the entire stencil with one color when you're using the larger brush. After I did all of my blending, I realized there's a small rectangle at the bottom of these stencils. If you line up the rectangles, you can easily line up the pattern. I was so excited to get blending that I just jumped right in, so I think mine might be wrong, but I still like the outcome. To finish this card, I treated some cardstock with anti-static powder tool and then stamped the sentiments from the Pink&Main Smile stamp set with Versamark ink. I covered it with white embossing powder and then heat set it. I trimmed it down to 4 inches wide and adhered it down to the card panel. I really love the soft multicolor look that you can achieve with that mini ergonomic blending brush. If you're not using a stencil and you're just creating a straight up blended background, the smaller size lets you create a smaller gradient of color. Let me show you exactly what I mean. For this card, I am going to blend several colors on one card panel: Spun Sugar, Worn Lipstick, Abandoned Coral, and Festive Berries. The smaller size of the brush lets me create those thin lines of color, whereas the original brush, I can probably do 2, maybe 3 colors max on one card, simply because the brush is so large. I do really like the original size for creating backgrounds for scenes. They make it really easy to blend a smooth light blue sky and then to create rolling hills for grass. Here you can see the 2 panels and how many lines of colors I was able to include on the right-hand panel using the mini brush. To finish this card, I'm going to use the large blenders with the same colors that I use to blend the sky and the grass, and I'm going to layer the stencils over top. This creates a really pretty tone on tone effect. Again, because I am just covering the whole stencil, the original blending brush is perfect here. I'm going to do the same exact technique with the roses on the pink panel. Again, since I have so many stripes of colors, I'm using the mini brush to only ink blend the roses over the stencil with spun sugar on the area of the card that was blended with spun sugar originally. And then I go down through and do each stripe of color individually with that mini brush. You can see I made a little mistake there. I used Festive berries when I was supposed to use abandoned coral, but still you can see the different colors on the different hues in the background there. For the blue and green card, I'm stamping and heat embossing a sentiment from the Smile stamp set with white embossing powder. It's really important for these fully inked backgrounds to let them dry and use a ton of anti-static powder tool to avoid embossing powder sticking to the entire background. For the pink, I went with gold embossing powder and then matted the entire panel on a piece of gold glitter cardstock. I want to thank Pink&Main for inviting me to help spread the word about this fabulous new blending brush. I love the new size and I plan to add a bunch to my stash. If you're interested in checking out the brand new mini Pink&Main ergonomic blending brush, it will be linked in the YouTube description below. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit that bell so you can be notified when any of my new videos are available. As always, thank you so much for spending time with me today. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you again soon. That would have been bad. Pink&Main, tiny, small.